Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Let's try that again. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Lovely to see you. Now, we've got about 15 people here in church, and umpteen millions will be watching online. At the moment, I think it's about 8 or 9, but the number will creep up, and then we'll publish it as a YouTube video later. So who knows who will be watching in the end. But it's lovely to see you both virtually at home, hello, and in real life here in church. This is the third of these piano soirees that Jaden and I have done, but the first time we've done it with real people, which is just a slightly different set of technological challenges, but we're hoping it's all working tonight. Really grateful to Jimmy and Mark, who are sitting on the desk at the back. Really grateful also to Hilary and Chris, who have provided us yummy things to eat at the end. So even if it's a complete disaster, folks, you've got something to look forward to. Except people at home, you just have to provide your own refreshments. Sorry about that. In return for the tray bakes, I've given them a free request later on, because, you know, I'm just so generous. For the rest of you, if you've requested anything, we'd love to receive your money in aid of Tabs International. Stick it in the bowl by the hatch later on. And at home, if you'd like to give, there's details there. You head for the Tabs International website, and there we go. It sounds really grand, doesn't it? Tabs International. We've got 4, I think, Kenyan trustees, and I think there's about 5 or 6 of us in the UK, and it's about as international as that. And none of us get any salaries, but between us and your generosity, we managed to keep going a whole primary school in a slum area of Kenya with 400 children. Isn't that brilliant? And it costs about 20,000 a year, that's all. So less than the cost of a teacher in this country. Without more ado, let's start with some music. And Anne Mullender Mavis Atkinson has asked for our first one. This is, she wanted Beethoven Symphony No. 5 in C minor, for which, of course, you need a whole 80-piece orchestra, and it lasts 25 minutes. So you're just going to get 4 pages on the piano. Here we go. And if you think, which one's Symphony No. 5, it's the one that starts like this. And then carries on like this. And I do like how that piece, which has got the Morse code for V, hasn't it? Dit, 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 da. That little rhythm keeps repeating all the way through. That Beethoven, pretty clever chap. I'm going to play something much easier now. Really grateful to Denise Seymour for choosing this, the theme from A Summer Place. Well, I'd never heard of this film. It's a 1950s romantic film, and I thought, well, I don't know the tune at all. But when I heard it on YouTube, I thought, oh, yes, I know this. And as soon as I start playing, you'll go, oh, yes, I've heard this. So this is a theme from A Summer Place. So thank you, Denise, for choosing something I can play this time. I think last time I had you to blame for Rhapsody in Blue, didn't I? So, yeah, we're quits now. Do feel free, if you know any of these, to hum along or sway along, either at home or here in church. That's fine. Tony Mock has chosen this one. Musicians like nothing better than to steal each other's tunes and play their own sort of riff on them. This has been going on for years. Perhaps the most famous classical example is that theme by Paganini, which Rachmaninoff made some fantastic things with. And then all sorts of composers have done their own thing, right up to Andrew Lloyd Webber. And it was the theme of the South Bank show, if you ever remember this. Well, this one is called a passacaglia, which is a Spanish dance over a sort of repeated bass line. And George Frederick Handel wrote a passacaglia. And then the 19th century Norwegian composer called Johan Halvorsen wrote his own version. And then much more recently, a YouTube, blogger, producer, who calls himself Pianistos, has done this piano arrangement of Halvorsen's arrangement of Handel's passacaglia. And here it is. Carol Jeans has chosen Lara's theme from Dr. Zhivago. And I was looking at this on YouTube. There's a nice Andre Roux version of this with full orchestra fronted by an accordion player and a strange sort of Greek-type, huge mandolin-type thing. He's a real showman. And what's lovely is that the camera panned round to the audience and they were really sort of swaying it. And there were some sort of older couples who'd obviously fallen in love to this music who were sort of getting up and dancing. So do feel free. This is Lara's theme from the film Dr. Zhivago. Now, we were having a joke on Tuesday night at the meal for homeless people we do here about what radio stations we listen to. And Barb was listening to Classic FM the other day, get her. And she heard this piece of music. I thought, I could request this. Couldn't remember what it was called, but knew it was Opus 50, and the composer was Fauve or Fauré or something like that. But Google found it. And it is the Pavane by Gabriel Fauré, who, poor chap, French composer, deaf for the last 20 years of his life. Everyone knows Beethoven went deaf. No one knows Fauré did. What's it like to be the second most famous deaf composer? Rubbish, isn't it? Anyway, if you think, actually, I sort of recognise this as well, because I think Barb sort of did, it may be because you have children of a certain age, and it was kind of the melody behind the hit song Natural by S Club 7. So it might date you. Or you may just know Fauré's original, of course, which is played on a flute with staccato strings in the background. So that's what you've got to imagine. Here we go. That's it. The Pavane is a kind of stately dance, so you can sort of very much get that. Now, I'm delighted to be joined here on the podium, on the stage of excellence, by Mr. Jaden Hart, our good friend and very able bass player. Now, he's been studying bass at Leeds Conservatoire for 2 years now, so he's pretty darn hot. So any wrong notes from now on are definitely my own doing. Now, this next piece, I'm afraid, has been requested by absolutely no one at all. But it's one of my favourites, so tough luck. This is the only one, the only self-indulgence that I've chosen tonight. You may have heard of Dave Brubeck, the jazz musician whose album Take 5 brought jazz into the mainstream. Take 5 is the one that goes to... 5/4, and a whole album of jazz tunes in funny time signatures. It was quite groundbreaking. Well, this is from the album, much less well known, called Strange Meadowlark, and it hasn't got funny time at all. But I just really love it. And it's a real treat for me to play with a really good bass player. Here we go. Thank you for your indulgence. As you can see, probably our main enemy tonight is reams of sheet music that doesn't quite do as it's told. Ho-hum. We thought we might programme something a little bit easier at this stage, so we are very grateful to my friend Grace Harrison, fellow trustee, who wanted You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story. So that'll be fun. You can sing along. It's really hard not to sing along to this, let's face it. And if you're listening at home, do please, and you're on Facebook, do please add to the comments. We love reading your comments later. Well, the polite ones anyway. Other ones we just go home and weep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, a couple of people have requested some hymns, so we thought we would do this as a medley. So Joan Jowett has requested It Is a Thing Most Wonderful, and There Is a Redeemer. And I didn't write down who it was, but I think, Hilary, I think this is your free one, isn't it? Be Still for the Presence and Shine Jesus Shine. I'm getting a nod, so there we go. Again, if you want to hum along, do feel free. Now, believe it or not, young Jaden here had never heard of the musical My Fair Lady. Can you believe it? A bit of musical education awaits him. 2 years at the conservatoire and didn't know I could have danced all night. Isn't that sad? Anyway, we have been improving his musical education, and here it is, because it has been requested by Pippa Harvey. So thank you, Pippa. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, Mavis Atkinson has asked also for a tune by Vera Lynn. This is called When the Lights Go On Again All Over the World. And it's quite a dainty, sort of pretty little tune. The words, however, are quite poignant. This is obviously written and sung during the war to keep people's spirits up and to look forward to the day when the lights would go on after those horrible blackouts. One of the lines really struck me when the lights go on all over the world, and rain or snow is all that may fall from the skies above. Can you imagine living night after night just with that fear of something coming from the sky that is much more deadly than rain or snow? Anyway, Mavis particularly asked for this one because she remembers hearing it or singing it on VJ night, Victory over Japan. And she was in Leeds, and I suppose that was the night when the lights did start coming on again. So thank you, Mavis, for choosing this. And here we are. Just want to go before we have a little interval and a leg stretch. And Anne Melinda has asked us to do Danny Boy, which we are very glad to do. Thank you very much. Now, we have a 7-minute video that is going to play now, both here in church and with a bit of luck for those of you at home, if all the technology works out. So this is a piece of music called God of Justice, and we've set to it some slides from when I went to Kenya in 2013 for a building trip. So it's lovely. You can see the new classrooms up here. If you need a comfort break, folks here, now is the time to have it.
God of justice, Savior to all, came to rescue the weak and the poor, chose to serve and not be served. Jesus, you have called us, freely we've received, now freely we will give. We must go, live to feed the hungry, stand beside the broken. We must go, what you require. Freely we've received now, freely we will give. We must go, if to feed the hungry, stand beside the broken. We must go, stepping forward, keep us from just singing, move us into action. We must go. Fill us up, send us out. Fill us up, send us out. Fill us up, send us out, Lord. Fill us up, send us out. Fill us up and send us out. Fill us up, send us out, Lord. Fill us up, send us out. Fill us up and send us out. Fill us up, send us out, Lord. Fill us up, send us out. Fill us up and send us out. Fill us up, send us out, acting justly, loving mercy. We must go, we must go to the broken and hurting. We must go, we must go. We must go, if to feed the hungry, stand beside the broken. We must go, and keep us from just singing, move us into action. We must go. Hey.
When we were there in 2013, the school had 182 children, and now we've got 400 because we built those classrooms. So that's exciting, isn't it? And that trip was absolutely life-changing, I think, for all of us that went, not least for the 3 young people who'd come from sort of a supported housing, and this was absolutely their first trip abroad. And they came back absolutely mind-blown by how positive the Kenyan folk had with so little. And they were saying things like, I'm going to stop blaming other people for my problems, and I'm going to go back to that hairdressing course, or I'm going to really give things a go. It was really exciting to change. I think it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But I think the folks there did more for us than we did for them. I can't wait to have another trip. We're really hoping that before too long there'll be a monitoring trip when it's safe to go to. And then maybe the next one after that will be some more building, more extensions. Who knows? Very exciting. Back to the music. Eileen Atkinson has requested Für Elise by Beethoven. Now, I remember one of my girls learning a sort of a cut-down version of this when they in their piano lessons years ago, and a little bit of blurb about it, and said, imagine if Beethoven was your piano teacher and he wrote this piece specially for you, which is what he did. Für Elise means for Elisa. It was a piece he'd written for one of his piano pupils, which must be terrifying, I'd have thought. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Beethoven, for writing me a nice piece to play, and sorry about the wrong notes in the fast bits.
What's that you say, child? I'm deaf.
2 weepies now. First of all, Somewhere in Time. Chrissy Sykes has requested this. This is from a movie and of that name, and the theme has been written by the well-known film composer John Barry. And the second weepy is Time to Say Goodbye by Andrea Bocelli. was another request by Joan Jowett. And Barbara Jenkinson told me about, 35 minutes ago, can you play... No, it was you gave me a little bit more notice, didn't you, Barbara? Blue Danube, she said. Fortunately, it is one I kind of half know. And so this is the last one before we get Jaden back. And thank you all for your percussive accompaniment. Now for the final part of the concert, but there's still a fair bit of it, I'm afraid. I'm very grateful to be joined by Mr. Jaden Hart again. Hooray! Yes. Now, I don't know if anyone saw Endeavour on the telly the other night on ITV, the Morse prequel. It's been in the 60s, well, they've arrived in 1971. So in the opening sequence, which had a very wet football game and a closed-up mailbox because there was a postal strike, and all sorts of other references to 1971, they chose a whole piece by The Who. Now, Tony Mock, who was but a lad, I'm sure, in 1971, has requested another piece from that album by The Who, and it's called Behind Blue Eyes. So this is by Peter Townshend from 1971. And here we go. Another request from Joan Jowett, Unchained Melody. You know this one, don't you? Now, my very good former friend, Rich Townend, when we were having this discussion about what radio station we listen to, he said, "Oh, can you do The Way It Is by Brian Hornsby?" I said, "I don't think I know that one." "Oh, it's on all the time on Radio 2. Well, he listens to Radio 2. But actually, when we found a bit on YouTube, oh yeah, I'm afraid I remember it first time round. Sorry, one from the 80s, I think. And apparently, it made piano playing cool. So we're going to undo that now. 1, 2, 3, 4. fellow trustee Kath Farmer has requested an ABBA piece, so we do expect you all to sing along to this one. The first line is, "I'm nothing special, in fact I'm a bit of a bore." So I'll let you work out what the chorus is called. Well, Laura Smith and her little boy, Ollie Smith, asked for this next one. They really like Under Pressure by Queen. So if you can just imagine yourself to be a sort of stadium full of 60,000 people. Basically, this has a really good bass riff and Freddie Mercury doing a bit of scat singing, and that's about it, really. So I'll fill in a little bit, but the maestro over here will take the lead. Very good. Mr. Jaden Hart. And if you're thinking, you know what, why doesn't the pianist shut up and we can hear more brilliant bass playing? That's exactly what we thought. And also our friend Martin Wallace as well, who said, look, if I give Tab some money, can you get Jaden to do a bass solo? So what's going to happen is that Jaden is going to play the well-known jazz standard called Blue Bossa. And this time I'm going to be the accompaniment. So I'm going to turn myself low and just play a bit of sort of background fudge while Jaden plays the tune and then does some incredible things. And we'll work out whether those conservatoire fees are worth it. Just a couple left. Jenny Beckett has requested, is this the way to Amarillo? And I expect most of us can just picture that Peter Kay video with Ronnie Corbett falling off the travelator. So enjoy that. I'm afraid the piano's coming back up. And here we go. 1, 2. And do please join in, obviously. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, double terror, triple terror. One is this is the last one, therefore, you know, pressure, it's got to be good. Second thing, it's got an enormous amount of sheet music, which, you know, we're going to battle with. And poor old Jaden's got the same problem as well. But the worst is that it's a real pig to play. We love it. So thank you, Ellen Sanders, for choosing it. Everyone, you've got to sing along. We are going to have a go at Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, thank you for the laughter. Yeah. Sort of a mixture of sarcasm and pity, which is probably about right. Are we going to go for this? After this, good news, we go and get to eat Hilary and Chris's refreshments, nice tray bakes. So thank you ever so much for coming, everyone, and thank you ever so much, everyone at home, for watching. It's been a treat. Do make a donation if you feel able. You know what it's for. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? 3, 4. That's your lot. Thank you very much. Good night. Mr. Jaden Hart. Thank you all.